Hi everyone, Kyle Vino here with Healy Innovations, and today we're going to work within Umango and we are going to build a data capture job for processing invoices. So if you're an organization that has field reps or you're collecting invoices on the go all day long and you're not in the office all the time, but you do have a phone and you can take a picture of that invoice and send it back to the office for it to be processed, this is the job for you. Here, the first thing we must do is log in. We're logging into our Umango, signing in, and now we get to our dashboard. Everything starts at the dashboard. It not only gives us all of our information, but it also is where we can start to build our jobs. And as you can see here, the easiest way to do it would be to use the new and then down to Capture Job Wizard. First thing we want to do is we're going to name our job, and then we're going to give a brief description. As we said before, this is for invoices that are being mailed in after being taken a picture by your phone or camera, as an example. In this case, we could have it set up where the input is coming in through an email and processed directly through the email attachment being the picture. For this example right now, though, we are going to use our document drop. So as you can see here, we're going to close out. We're going to click on our Add Job to Document Drop and go to Next. We're then going to process this without, hopefully, user intervention. But we're also going to compensate in the event there is. Because these are invoices we are going to set a validation meter. 90%. We're then going to go to Next. And now we must set up our template or structure for our document. We've brought in the document. We really want to look at three main areas on this document, which are the company that is shipping from, their account number, as well as who it's going to. We have a nice mixture of handwriting and type. And let's scroll in. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a zone for our shipping company name. We're going to go OCR. And now we must title our zone, Sending Company. You can call it whichever you choose. We always test our zones to make sure everything is working correctly, and it saves time in the long run. We're validating, yes, it's correct. Let's save it. Let's go to our next zone, account number, or sender account number. We're going to select the new zone. We are going to highlight the zone. We're going to test it after we name it, which is sender account number. And again, you can select different zones if you choose and have different names. The key is always the OCR and test. If you test and it works, you'll have no issues in the long run. And that is the key. Validation is correct. Let's hit OK. Let's make sure to save and go to the last one. Now, as you can see here, this is handwriting. Not the greatest handwriting. So this will really show the power of Umango and how it functions so well. So we selected our zone. We're going to structure it. Excellent. And make sure we name it. As you can see here, we're calling this one the receiving company. Really, we're eliminating the extra work when an employee gets back to the office after having a number of different pictures of invoices, or even the invoices. Okay, select the OCR. We're going to test it. Always test. And as you can see here, even though the handwriting is not the greatest, Umango is able to read it correctly. Now that it works, let's save it and go on to the next. Where are we getting one document? We will not need to separate. So let's go next. And now, where is it going to? In this case, we are a small organization, so we're going to send it to our C drive. If you're using a cloud environment, you can send it to that. And in later episodes, we're going to show you how. As you see here, it's just drop menus. Now let's title it. I think that I would like to see it coming in as those who, by typing in zone and then saying, okay, those who sent the part or document are, and then those who received it. So we're naming it the sender and the receiver. If you'd like to name it other sources, you certainly can using the zones that you selected. Next, we're going to go to File. We want this to be a searchable PDF. Let's select Searchable PDF. Let's put in some metadata. Make it easy for having to search later on. So let's use the 3 zones that we created. So let's type in zone. We have sending company. Let's also have our, obviously, receiving company. And let's do account number. Excellent. By clicking off of the window, let's add it into our metadata column and save it. Everything is done. Let's finish. Back to the dashboard. Now, let's test what we've done. Let's make sure that this works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our document drop. We're going to find our job. We're going to import a document. It's now dropped in and it's beginning to process. Depending on the length and complexity of the document, invoice in this case, it can take longer or shorter. We haven't had a lot of longer periods of time, so if you do find it running longer, you may have to even intervene and process it through not meeting the validation requirements. So if you find that maybe it's really poor handwriting, then you may have to do your own intervention, but it will prompt you. It does not actually process anything without it being validated. When you see it validated, you get a happy face, everything has gone through, it's working right, and now it's completed. Let's log out. You don't have to, but I wanted to in this case. Now, let's go to our C drive. Let's go to our temp folder and shipping invoices. Oh, there we know exactly the invoice and the name.